Good morning. This is David Pereira from Rent to Grow Homes, here to review a new deal we have with a family headed by Paul and Angela in Cornwall, Ontario. So the background story here is Paul and Angela have lived in Cornwall for a long time. They've had steady jobs for a long time. Combined income is about 105, 108,000. They've been renting for a long time. Their landlord has been problematic lately, threatening to sell and just kind of creating a bit of disrupt in their family. And unfortunately, Angela's parents passed recently, and so she's been given her share of inheritance. So what she and Paul are doing is they've cleared out some of the debt that they had, and now that they're kind of at zero, they want to, with the remaining funds, buy a house and get some stability in their life. So based on their salary, based on the funds available and a few other factors, my broker has approved them for $390,000 as the purchase price. So we're going to go through the numbers here based on that number. It's possible they find a home that's 380, 370, and this is actually possible in Cornwall. You can find a detached 3-bedroom home. You can find a semi-detached 4-bedroom that's in a decent area, decent home for that price. So assuming $390,000, we are going to assume an annual appreciation of 5% per year, which is reasonable for Cornwall. And so their exit price in 3 years, meaning the price they would buy the house back from the investor, is $451,000. So the investor is going to get a mortgage, so a standard mortgage, 20% down. So at $390,000, assuming a 5% interest rate, the cash to bank is $78,000. Legal is going to be about $3,000 when you figure in all the various title insurance, things like that. Appraisal is about $600. Land transfer tax is about $43.25 based on this price. I collect a upfront fee of $3,000, and the tenant buyer is in for $20,000. So if we add all these numbers up and then subtract the $20,000, the investor is in for $68,925. So as you can see, we take into account all of the real upfront expenses to figure out what is the number you're in for in order for this deal to happen. And then we calculate your return based on this number. And typically, our returns are 20% annual. That's what we target. This one's a little bit more special, and we're actually going for a higher number. We're able to return 23%. And I'll show you that in a minute or so. So the rent that they would be paying on the first of the month is $2,400. Each month on the 15th, they would pay an additional amount of $775. This is called an option credit or a savings credit. All of this goes towards their future down payment. And they are going to need a down payment of 10% because one of them was in a consumer proposal a while ago. So we know banks are probably going to require a higher down payment for them. So the total that they're paying each month is $31.75. Now, assuming a mortgage at 5%, that payment's going to be $18.24. We're assuming insurance of $200, property tax of $300. So our total out is $23, which means we have $851 in cash flow coming into our joint account each month. $600 of that is going to be dispersed to our investor. I'm going to take a property management fee of $150, and we're going to leave $101 in our joint account. So now at closing, we've agreed on this purchase price already. We give Paul and Angela back their original $20,000. We give them the accumulated option credits. So this is 36 months multiplied by that $775 number. So you can see that now they have about $47,900 that we're holding on to, and that is going to become their down payment. There's going to be mortgage discharge to close it. Obviously, there's a legal fee. And so the proceeds at sale is about $40,000. Also important, we return your initial investment back to you. So proceeds left at sale time is about $40,000. Now, if we look at the overall deal profit, the appreciation, so this is the $390 up to $451, is the difference is $61,000. Over the 3 years, our mortgage has been paid down by about 20%, and then we had some rental cash flow as well. So if we add these three components, we have a total profit of $84,500. We had some hard costs of $98.25. This is legal on the front end, the back end, and the land transfer tax that was paid up front. And then this came in as a referral, and we paid out a referral fee as well. So the total profit available on the deal is $70,791. Now, going to the investor return, you were in for $68,925. This number here is this number up here, right? This is the calculation we made to figure out what are you in for. So that's your number. Like I said, we are targeting a 23% annual return. So 23 times 3 is 69%. If I multiply 69 by this 68,925 number, it spits out 47,558. So that is the number that I am trying to deliver to you, the investor. Now, you received some of this as monthly cash flow. For 3 years, you got $600 a month. So some of your profit came here. The remainder of the profit will come when we sell. We basically just subtract this amount that I'm promising you by the amount you receive, you've already received through monthly cash flow, and you're left with this number. Okay, so overall, you're making $47,558. Now, how I make money is upfront. I charged a fee of $3,000. I had $150 a month times 36 months for property management fee, and then I get a chunk of what's left over once everything else has been dispersed. So I pay out the referral fee. I pay out a lot of other things. So my profit is $23,000. So if we look at the profit split between the investor and myself, so the total profit on the deal is $70,791. The investor is getting 47. I'm getting about 23. So it's really about a 2/3 to 1/3 ratio, which is what I typically target. And up here on the top right of the spreadsheet, you can sort of see the summary. These are the main numbers, but what I want to do, the purpose of this video is to kind of go through the nitty-gritty and the details. So if this is a deal that's interesting to you, or you just generally like how these deals are structured, and you would love to be an investor and help a family earn home ownership, get in touch with me at Rent to Grow Homes. Thanks.